Hi, my name is John Purvis with HouseIQDVD.com. So you're in the market for a house. Yeah, I've been there. It will probably be the biggest purchase you'll make in your life, and it will affect every area of your life. Clearly, it will determine how you live now and in the years to come. But you probably knew all this, right? So I've got a question for you. Do you want an only house, or do you want an already house? What do I mean by that? Well, I'll tell you in a minute, but it's a question you really need to ask yourself. I remember the first time I was in the market for a house several years ago, feeling just this big jumble of emotions. Suddenly, I faced a lot of unknowns. I didn't know anything about escrow. I knew even less about title insurance and all the other aspects of buying a house. I really didn't like, and still don't for that matter, that feeling of vulnerability. I had a wife and 2 little children. We were renting a small 2-bedroom house in Los Angeles, about 750 square feet. I had lived in apartments bigger than that, but it was all we could afford. Didn't seem to matter. We had fun. Well, after a few years, circumstances changed, and we were fortunate enough to be able to buy a house. Suddenly, we had all these other concerns. Where to buy? How close were the schools? How far was the church? Where was the doctor, the grocery store, the dentist? You know, life. Okay, I don't know about your kids, but mine really did not like to look at houses. So what did my wife and I do? We took the kids along to look at houses. Hey, you don't get that many chances to do this in life, so you might as well make it as much fun as you can. Well, I remember one Sunday after church, we were looking at houses in a neighborhood there's no way we could afford. But like I said, you don't hunt for houses all that often, so why not? Okay, we toured the house. We were on our way to the door. My son, I think he was like 6 or 7 at the time, reached to open the front door. The knob came off in his hand. I kid you not. He's standing there holding this big glass knob in his hand with a stem sticking out. Suddenly all those signs flashed through my mind. You know, the ones that say, if you break it, you have to buy it. I freaked. Quick, put it back. Quick, did anybody see you? Run for the car, let's go. It was good times. Anyway, like I said, we were in the market for a house. As I'm sure you're finding out, buying a house is a big stretch. I asked as many questions as I could think of up front, but it seemed like there were a whole bunch of other fees and costs that kept jumping out at me. I really didn't need, scratch that, I really couldn't afford to lay out any more money to repair or replace things that might break around the house. But at least this was one area I had nailed down. You see, I started in residential construction better than 40 years ago back in Ohio when I was still in high school. I worked for a realtor who flipped houses. Then he started building apartment buildings and single-family homes. My brother and I went along with him as construction superintendents. It was hands-on. We were on site every day in every kind of weather, overseeing every aspect of construction, literally from the ground up. Initial grading of the land to final keying of the locks for the new owner. Okay, fast forward a few years. By this time I had moved to California. I was married with kids and worked at a home warranty company. I started in the business as a customer service rep and worked my way up to become vice president for one of the nation's largest home warranty companies. I oversaw literally hundreds of thousands of repairs in almost every trade associated with home ownership. I saw on a daily basis how houses fell apart and what it took to put them back together. I want to share that knowledge and experience with you. With HouseIQ DVD, I will teach you to see houses differently. With HouseIQ DVD, you'll know what to look for and what to look out for when you're shopping for a house. Maybe people are telling you certain things aren't important, that certain things don't matter. Well, maybe they are and maybe they do. With HouseIQ DVD, you'll see past the surface. You'll see what the seller perhaps doesn't want you to see. You'll see what perhaps the seller doesn't even know himself. With HouseIQ DVD, you'll be able to size things up on your own and make up your own mind. Now, there are different layers to HouseIQ DVD. First, of course, you get the hard data you need to size up a house. I've done a brain dump for you. You get an introduction and 19 chapters jam-packed with information, literally hours of stuff. I don't waste a minute of your time. Even the introduction has tips to help you size up the houses you're considering. I go over the systems and appliances in a home. Plumbing, heating, air conditioning, electrical, pool equipment. There's a chapter on roofs, water heaters. I cover both conventional water heaters and demand or so-called tankless water heaters, by the way. Circulating hot water pumps, passive and active solar systems, whirlpool bathtubs, heat recovery ventilators. I go over interiors and exteriors of houses. I talk about foundations, doors and windows, landscaping, gutters and downspouts, kitchen appliances, and evaporative coolers. Matter of fact, there's so much here, I couldn't fit it all on just one DVD. HouseIQ is a set of 2 DVDs full of useful information. DVDs you can watch as many times as you want, refer back to as many times as you need. It doesn't matter if you don't know what some of this stuff is. I explain it, I show it, I diagram it. For you, it could mean the difference between an only house and an already house. Yeah, I'm coming to that. In HouseIQ DVD, I also tell you how things work. I show you some of what goes into the design of these residential systems. Now, do you need to know this stuff to use the rest of the DVD? No, but I put it in for you anyway, and here's why. First, if you know how something is supposed to work, you're more likely to know if something works. Second, if you know how something works, you will know how to use it to get the most out of it. Evaporative coolers and air conditioners both cool a house, right? But if you don't understand one fundamental difference between the two, and a lot of people don't, by the way, you're not going to get everything you could out of your evaporative cooler, and you're going to waste a lot of money. Third, when something does need to be repaired, you'll be able to size up both the repairman and the repair. The roofing contractor wants to replace a couple hundred square feet of shingles. Maybe so, but by far most roof leaks are due to much simpler problems with the flashing. The heating contractor wants to replace the thermostat because you can't read the LED screen. Well, maybe so, but maybe the thermostat just needs a new battery. A pool contractor busted through the concrete deck to fix a plumbing leak to the spa. Had to be done. But the homeowner paid better than $600 and this was the repair he got. Okay, forget the fact that the pipe now sticks up almost higher than the 4 inches of concrete it's supposed to be under. The homeowner was left to wonder, the water coming out of the jets in the spa, why does it suddenly not have any pressure? With HouseIQ DVD, you'll know why. Next, I give you tips on how to use the systems and appliances in a house to reduce wear and tear. Believe it or not, how you mow your lawn can hurt your air conditioning system. I explain why, but I take things a step further. You see, I factor in the dimension of time. If you look at a house now, you take sort of a snapshot of the house frozen in time. What works now, what doesn't work now, what needs attention now. But it's a fact of life. Things will break. Things will wear out. What are you looking at when they do? Some toilets are significantly more expensive to repair than others. What are the most common repairs to ovens? Pool filters. How and why does a routine cleaning turn into a repair? With HouseIQ DVD, you'll know why. Now, I know what you're saying. I'm not the technical type. You don't have to be. I explain everything. I'm not good with tools. I don't even know how to use a hammer. Relax, you don't need to. You're not going to fix anything. Matter of fact, as a prospective buyer, it isn't your place to fix anything. I don't have the right tools. Actually, you do, and that's the beauty of this. If you can see curtains around a window, you can do this. If you can hear the TV in the family room, you can do this. If you can smell cookies baking in a warm oven, you can do this. I show you what to look for, what to listen for. I describe the odors and grinding vibrations that signal an equipment failure. That's all there is to it. With HouseIQ DVD, you use your sight, hearing, smell, and touch to make sure you don't get a bad taste in your mouth. Like I said, HouseIQ is a set of 2 DVDs packed literally with hours of useful information. Along with the DVDs, you get 2 checklists. Now let me explain. You're likely to see a lot of houses, and it's easy to lose track of what you've seen. So the first checklist helps you now to get a quick overview of the house. Later on, as you reflect back on the house, the first checklist jogs your memory to help you recall more about it. Did you have any immediate likes or dislikes? What are its distinguishing features? Did you pick up on any red flags? Most important, is the house worth a second look? Is it worth more of your time? The second checklist is more detailed. Let's say you've made an offer on the house and now you're in the contingency period. This is a very important phase in the home buying process because this is when you determine if you're getting an only house or an already house. I know, I'll explain that in just a minute. Anyway, the second checklist will help you see the house differently. Walk around what works, what doesn't work, but also what needs further scrutiny, what needs closer examination. Do you need to bring in a heating air contractor to more closely inspect an old furnace? Do you need a qualified electrician to examine the electrical system? With HouseIQ DVD, you will get more out of their reports because you will understand more and in greater depth. You'll know what they're talking about. Now, in addition to the checklists, I have a report on home warranties for you as well. Like I said, I was a vice president for one of the nation's leading home warranty companies. I explain to you what they are and I show you from the inside just how they work. I tell you how the contracts are written and how the coverages are determined. Most important, I give you tips to help you pick the right contract for you. With HouseIQ DVD, I can pass my knowledge and experience on to you now when it will do you the most good, while you're looking for a house. Let me give you an example. I recently looked at a house built along a steep slope. There were block retaining walls on each side of the property holding back dirt. But the retaining wall on the uphill side of the property was leaning over, a good 2 inches out of plumb. When that wall finally gives way and the dirt shifts, which house is going to be in worse shape? The downhill house I looked at that will have to dig itself out, or the uphill house that the dirt fell out from under? It's a trick question. The correct answer is you don't want to have to find out. Life's too short. You want to spot problems or potential problems so you can avoid them. Is there a sense of urgency here? Yes. You need HouseIQ DVD. You need to see this stuff before you get into something you wish you hadn't. Don't put it off. I want to help you reduce your exposure. I want to help you steer clear of a money pit. I want to help you avoid the heartache of falling in love with a house, but then have to back away when you later realize it needs thousands of dollars worth of repairs and upgrades that you could have seen coming a lot earlier. That's the difference between the only house and the already house. Okay, I'll explain what I mean, and to do that, I'm going to use these two laundry appliances that I bought brand new right out of the box. The clothes washer is on the left, the dryer is on the right. As you can see, the dryer is considerably older. I've owned it for almost 30 years, and in that 30 years, I've only fixed it twice for about $45–50 each time. The washer I've owned for just 5 years, and I've already fixed it twice for about $200–250 each time. Only and already. Which kind of a house do you want? Do you want the only house where you can live life as you want? Or do you want the already house that just saps your time and money with one repair after another? Do you want the only house that's restful where you can relax? Or do you want the already house that keeps you up at night worrying over what's going to break next? Only and already. With HouseIQ DVD, you get to decide. HouseIQ is loaded with hours of useful information. Along with the 2 DVDs, you get the 2 checklists, the short form to help you keep track of the different houses you see, and the longer, more detailed form to help you survey the one you've zeroed in on. You also get the free Insider's Report on home warranties, how to read the contracts and how to compare the coverage again to get the right one for you. You're looking for a home. The time and attention you give your search now will pay you back many times over in the years to come. You're looking for a place to live, a place not just where you can spend your life, but a place where you can experience life and all it has to offer. We're talking about your home. Live life with the volume turned up. Create memories. Click the buy button below and let's get you into a home where your memories can be happy ones.